Anybody that does metalworking, fabrication, auto body, I think you're going to like today's video. Back in the day, I used to do a lot of metalworking and the grinding and the welding. I got to be honest with you, sometimes I used to cause more work for myself while I was doing the work. Every time I used a grinder or a grinding disc, I would end up creating gouges that I had to fill or fix later after I was just trying to maybe smooth out a weld a little bit. But let me give you an example.
So if you're anybody who's ever done anything like this, you know that you can't just paint right over top of it because the paint's gonna start peeling. It's not gonna be real nice like. So you're gonna have to strip this down. You're gonna have to take all the old paint off. You're gonna have to take the rust off. You gotta do the primer and all that good stuff. But today I wanna talk to you about removing this, and I'm gonna show you how to do it.
Now, a couple weeks ago, I did a video on the Gator APX Ultra Film, which is really, really cool sandpaper. A lot of you liked it, and I told you I was going to bring some other things to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the new Gator sanding wheels, basically. So they're going to grind and polish. You want to see a closer look? Well, there you go, my best friend forever. And they come with different grits. So let's test this stuff out and see how it works.
Now, here's what's different about these type of grinding discs. They're not actually grinding discs. I mean, they are, but you know what I'm talking about. The old style, like, right, you know. No, a lot of people still use those. A lot of people don't like to use those because, well, you end up with a crack inside of them. You don't know about it. Next thing you know, it flies off, smacks you in the face. But these are actually made out of sandpaper, and you don't really have to worry about any of that. Now, you can see that there's different grits. And if you watch that previous video, you know the lower the number, the more gritty the paper is. And the same thing applies to these here. And if I wanted to go with a more gritty or more aggressive style sandpaper or disc, I would go with the 40. I think I'm gonna go with the 60 today, but they also have the 80 and such. So if you need a little less grit, a little less oomph, go with a higher number. But if you really need to take off some nasty stuff like scaling or whatever, go with the lower number. Now, just like a conventional grinding disc, you're gonna use these on a conventional grinder. This is my angle grinder here, and we're just gonna screw this on like such.
And when you go to use these, just snug them up a little bit. They're actually going to tighten as you use them, which is pretty real nice like, but you know, I always just give a little extra oomph.
Now, some of you might be asking, why don't I just use a regular grinding disc? Well, number one is these are a little safer, a lot safer, number one. Number two, if you're taking down welds with the regular grinding disc, that's fine. You can still do that with these depending on the grit. Number three, what's cool about these is it's not gonna gouge into things. So it's actually grinding and polishing. So grinding wheels might work in better situations and better scenarios for other things. But something like this, if you're doing auto body, or if you're just trying to fix something on your metal, well, not only is this gonna grind this stuff off, but it's gonna clean it up for you. You don't have to worry about coming back and filling it with a filler. So again, body work or fabrication work that you don't want to deal with all the extra prep or, you know, fixing your gouges when you're done grinding something, this might be the way to go. Now check out how shiny this is, but the other really cool thing, man, it's raining out now. The really cool thing about this sanding instead of grinding is that it's cool to the touch. So now I don't have to worry about burning myself or picking something else. And the sparks, even though it was kicking off some sparks, obviously you're gonna get that, but not as bad compared to grinding. This reminds me of silver and gold, silver and gold, you know? But I mean, that is really cool. And like I said, it doesn't take much to take that off. Now, if I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, which I'm gonna be now, you see I got some bubbling here. I got the rust over here. We're gonna clean this up with some 40 grit. We're gonna see how that does. But before I grab that, let me show you this disc here. You can see you got a lot of use left in this disc here. So yeah, let's grab the 40. So just like we put it on, but the opposite way, just screw that off like such. This is the 40. You can definitely see a lot more coarse compared even to the 80 grit. Screw that on and such. Lock her down a little bit so it doesn't go nowhere. I cannot tell you how badly I am over this Ohio weather. Here we go, 40 grit. Oh, need the bat ray. All right, here we go. This is with the 40 grit. And again, if you're somebody that's doing a panel, maybe you're restoring a car, this might be the way to go. Much faster. So let me show you here in a bit. All right, so we took the face off of this here. You can see that it's still polished, but not as much. So let me bring down an even higher grit to see if we can clean this up, make it real shiny. All right, so let me show you. That was the 40 grit. And like I said, it removed that stuff really easy. But I want to see if I can shine this up even more. So now we got the 80 grit on here, and this is the 4.5. These are all 4.5 inch discs. But now we don't have as much oomph on this one compared to the other ones. And look at the difference between the two. The 40 grit's taking off the heavy nasty, and the 80 grit's really shining it up. Yeah. Silver and gold. All right. But look at that. Look at that. Look at it. That is shiny like it came out of a silver miner. So the 40 grit really helps take that stuff down, and then the 80 grit, because it's less gritty, remember I'm telling you about the numbers there, it's polishing it up. So if you're doing the fabrication work, and if you're doing like the auto body and stuff, this is nice because now you're not using the grinding disc to take chunks out of something, and you got to be perfect with everything all the time. This just allows you to go over what you're doing on your material, getting it done, cleaning it up. So now if you got to prime, if you're going to paint, you're going to fill, whatever you're going to do, you don't have to worry about all the sparks. You don't have to worry about creating more work for yourself. Pretty real nice like. Now, if you are a welder and you have thick, nice, beautiful welds, well, then you're probably going to stick with a conventional grinding disc. It's going to take more off, and you're not worried about gouging something out all the time. But like I said, if you're fabricating body work, these are really freaking real nice like, and somebody is just doing work and doesn't want to create more damage and have to worry about fixing it down the road. Yeah, this might work out pretty good for you. Sandpaper on a grinding disc. Never thought I'd see the day. Actually, this technology's been out for a little while, but Gator's doing it now, and they're doing a really good job. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. We'll be back. More videos soon.